Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Good morning. It is February 27th, 2023, 6 a.m., and we're here bright and early. Welcome back to the series of 10 ways to gain control of your life, part 2. Last week we started part 1 and we had some really good topics on there. So if you want to get yourself caught up, make sure you tune into our YouTube channel. It should be up and running here pretty soon. And that way you can get the entire clips of that series because it was really good. My name is Danica Dorsey. For those who don't know, I am a native here of Tulare, Visalia area. And this is my second podcast of starting this year. And again, today we're gonna be talking about 10 ways to gain control of your life. Monday. I know sometimes Monday is like, it could really bring Monday blues, but I can't lie. Like Monday, I feel rejuvenated. I feel ready. I think I start to feel a little bit of a slouch on like maybe Wednesday or Thursday because, we're all hoping for the week to end, right? But Monday, I just feel like the earlier I get my morning started, the better my week is going to be. And the more productive my week is going to be. So that's why I chose to do like a 6 a.m. thing because early bird gets the worm. I do want to start this morning by reading this quote that I read the other day. I don't remember where I read it from. I'm sorry, I can't give you like the author's name or anything, but I read this quote. It stuck out to me and I want to share it with you guys. It says, if you want to be happy on purpose. When you wake up in the morning, you can't just wait to see what kind of day you'll have. You have to decide what kind of day you'll have. Higher thoughts, higher energies, higher vibrations, higher frequencies, higher experiences. And so that's why Monday morning when I wake up, I'm like, it all starts with a thought. When I read that, I thought, man, again, it all starts with perspective and how it truly is everything. Perspective truly is everything. But before I get into that I want to share with you guys my mug, because I love it. It's my favorite verse out of the Bible. It's I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength, Philippians 4:13, and it's my favorite. And the tea that I'm drinking in here this morning is, I think I got some ginger, some honey and lemon, and some echinacea. I love to drink echinacea. Oh, with some mint too. I love mint. I don't have any local merchandise to show off to you guys for businesses, so I'm calling out the local businesses. Please, if you want to drop off your merch at Nuclear Vision Media in Tulare on on King Street. Yes, sorry about that. King Street. Please do. It could be anything. It could be a shirt, a sweater. It could be some edge control. I don't care what it is. Just drop it off. I want to be able to market and network your brand for you and your materials that you guys have. So Tulare, Visalia, if you want me to broadcast your merchandise on the podcast, please stop by or hit me up. And let me know in the comments, and I could either pick it up or you can drop it off here at the studio. We'd love to show off your business. So with that being said, like I was saying, perspective, how it changes everything in the morning. And I'm going to share a little bit of a story with you guys really quick. And it's kind of embarrassing. It may sound a little corny, but it's real life. This past weekend, I wasn't feeling my best self. I was tired. I was exhausted. I wasn't really feeling good. I felt like I was maybe coming down with something. So I right away took like my oil of oregano, all my vitamins. And I just wasn't feeling the best. Mentally, I felt like I was probably starting to get attacked. And my house was not the way that I liked for it to be. My kitchen was a mess, my living room was a mess, all the things. People live there, so the house is gonna be a mess. And I got up and I had a million things to do. I had a million things to prep for. And so I walked in my kitchen and I looked around, and it immediately made me feel even worse, because I'm like, I have to clean my kitchen. I have to get it, I have to start dinner. I have to do all the things, right? And then as I was starting to wash the dishes, I was putting my gloves on. I looked around, I closed my eyes really quick, like within the second, I closed my eyes, and I just said like a quick prayer out loud to myself. And, and then I said these words out loud. I'm like, I don't have to do these things, I get to do these things. And the words that I used, and I heard myself say these things out loud. I don't have to clean my kitchen, I get to clean my kitchen. It literally changed my perspective. Like, that stuff works for me. I don't know about you guys, but it works for me. The language that I speak out loud, that I hear myself speak out loud, it changes my perspective pretty much on anything. Words are powerful. I know we've all heard that. And so the words that we speak out loud, which I'll touch on a little bit later, it's monumental. It's huge. It could make a difference in our attitude, our mood. It can make a difference in everything. And so it changed my perspective. I said it out loud because if I just drive across town, I could see an entire village of houseless people who wish they had a kitchen to clean. And so just little things like that, honestly, it made my day go that much better. I still felt like physically, I still felt tired, but mentally, it made all the difference. And so I think that's really important for us to remember that even when we're waking up on Monday morning, it's not, I have to wake up early, or I have to get up and I have to go to work. We get to do these things. It's a privilege for us to be able to get up in the morning, get ourselves dressed, right? We're not in a hospital bed. We're not in a jail cell, hopefully. But we get to get up and get ourselves ready, feed ourselves, and those things I don't take for granted. I teach my 6-year-old the same thing. Like, when we pray in the morning, our prayer is, God, thank you for allowing us to be able to first wake up. You protected us last night. We woke up this morning. A lot of people didn't wake up this morning, and we're able to clothe ourselves, feed ourselves. And those are the things that I just want to remind you, don't take those things for granted. So just food for thought. And so with that being said, number 1, or I should say number 6, because this is part 2. I want to remind you guys that we should, and this one right here, I think this is where I'm living at, like in real life, my day-to-day right now. This is the number 1 topic that is kind of driving me right now. And it's do the things your future self will thank you for. Start today. The things that we've been putting off, it could be anything. It could be starting a new hobby. It can be taking a vacation. It could be writing a book, starting school, leaving a stressful job that no longer serves you, going to the gym, eating healthy, whatever it is that you've been putting off. Think about how your future self will thank you if you start today. And that honestly has been one of the things that I've been thinking about. I've been trying to live and put into action every single day. Because when I think about, first of all, what motivates me is, my kid, the desire for her to have a better life, her to have a better future. And just because I want to live a better life, and I want my future self to say, thank you for starting the things that you started, 5, 10 years ago, even a year ago. I want to be able to reap those, to be able to sow those benefits. And so starting today is definitely the time for us to do that. I feel like our future self will thank us for things like living a healthy lifestyle, mind, body, and spirit. It could be investing a little bit more into your 401k or getting life insurance, for instance. A lot of people don't have life insurance. I mean, we don't think about these things. We'll pay the extra $20 a month to get insurance on our phone, but when it comes to our life, it's like we put that on hold. And so in the future, heaven forbid, no one's going to last forever. Everyone has an expiration date. So the moment that God calls us home, we shouldn't want to put our family through the burden of selling plates, doing GoFundMes. Life insurance is huge. I'm not an agent. I don't sell it, but I know how important it is. And the way that, unfortunately, people have left us. I know I've been hearing about I've been experiencing deaths are all around me. And so, it's huge. So investing in yourself, making sure that your family is good when you leave this earth is important. And I think that your future self will thank you for that. Starting a side hustle. If you are wanting to make some extra money, if you're wanting to, just get additional income, starting your hustle now, just think where it would be in 30 days. It could definitely grow. And starting that now you'll definitely benefit that in the future. Other ways, holding ourselves accountable. I know this one's a hard one for myself, for I know people around me. I think we all struggle a little bit with holding ourselves accountable with things. But we start now, we start those daily habits, those daily routines now, and I know in 30 days we would hardly recognize ourselves. So developing those daily routines, holding ourselves accountable, and just remembering that consistency and habits are key when trying to make a change in life. Discipline leads to habits. Habits lead to consistency, and consistency leads to growth. All the things that our future self will thank us for. I'm taking note. I'm reading my notes. I read my notes every day just to try and keep myself motivated and on that path to gaining control of my own life. So I hope that's helpful to you guys. Another way, you could just start being kind to yourself. Start being nice to yourself, which brings me to my next bullet point. Positive self-talk, right? Be gentle with yourself. How many of us struggle with that, right? Be mindful of the thoughts you think, the words you say to yourself, how you speak to about yourself to other people, and where you channel your energy and the environments you're in play a huge role in self-talk. And it will eventually turn into a feeling. So the words that we speak about ourselves, that's how we begin to feel about ourselves. If you know me or if you don't know me, I'm huge on affirmations. And I teach my 6-year-old about affirmations. And again, you'll probably hear me reference what I teach my 6-year-old because, again, everything we first learned in kindergarten, in first grade. And I said I was going to have the book for you guys to show, and I don't have it. I apologize, but I will put it in the comments so that way I'll put at least a picture of it so you guys will get it. It's really good. It brings us back down to our roots and everything that we learned. Everything that, affirmations are everything to me. They're powerful, but it's more than just saying them every single day. When I tell my 6-year-old, she recites her affirmations every day. I am strong, I am brave, I am powerful, I am capable, I am amazing, I am awesome, I'm blessed, I'm healthy, I can do anything I want to do. And so after that, I'll ask her, you're saying these, but do you feel like you are brave? Do you feel like you are powerful? Do you feel like you are capable? Do you feel like you can do anything you want to do? Do you feel like you're awesome? Do you feel like you're amazing? And because I feel like it's just as important not just to say these words, but to also feel them. Because once you feel them, you become them. You become the awesome person you're saying you are. You become the amazing person you say that you are. And so it's saying it is feeling it is, I think it's more important than just saying them. But they go, hand in hand. So if you just repeat them daily, day in and day out, it's useless if you don't feel what you're actually saying about yourself. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't wake up and the first thing you say, I am strong, I am powerful, I am brave, and you recite all of your affirmations. The more positive words we speak to ourselves, we should continue to feel as though we are the person we desire to be until that feeling becomes so natural that it gets ingrained into the core of our being. And start celebrating you. The situations that you're handling today, you wouldn't have handled them the way that you are, the way that you were 5 years ago, or the way that you were a year ago. You've been putting a lot of work into yourself. I know that I have, and I like to celebrate myself. I like to celebrate my accomplishments. I like to pat myself on the back sometimes and just say, good job, keep going. You're doing a good job, don't stop. I do not like to talk negative about myself. I'm human, it happens. Sometimes it would slip out. However, I'm conscious enough to know, and I've ingrained it into myself to know that when I do speak something negative about myself, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel natural. So I'm immediately like, no, I'm not lazy. No, I'm not always late. No, I'm not. That's a good one because I am always late. But once I do say that, I'm trying to be on time with things. So the more that I speak about these things in a positive way, the more I feel like I will become that way. And I am going to celebrate myself. So you're handling situations better than your old self would. And that in itself deserves a celebration. So continue to celebrate yourself because you matter, your hard work matters, and the journey that you're on is not far, and you definitely are putting in all the work, so continue to do that. Choose to listen to your inner voice. You will never follow your own inner voice until you clear up the doubts in your mind. And this kind of goes hand in hand with speaking positive to ourselves, right? Your inner voice, you have to get rid of all the doubts in your mind. Naturally, sometimes we do doubt ourselves. We're our own worst critic, but work on it every single day. Don't doubt yourself. It all begins in our minds. So what we give power to has power over us. And if we allow it, because like I said, the thoughts are going to be there. But if we give power to it, if we give energy to those doubts, to those fears, that negative inner voice part, because there's a positive and a negative, but the negative part of it, the doubt, if you give power to it, it will have power over you if you allow it to. So I want to share some lies and truths. I want to cover it with truth, but I want to share some lies with you that we often, I know myself, tell ourselves, but how we can switch it with an immediate positive truth. A lie is I'm not good enough. How many of us felt like we weren't good enough for whatever it was, good enough for a job, good enough to for someone to be considered and to be a part of someone's life, whatever it is, telling yourself that you're not good enough. But here's the truth. You matter. There's greatness inside of you, and you are good enough. In fact, start telling yourself you may be overqualified. And if that helps you get to a point to where you start listening to your inner voice, then tell yourself what you need to tell yourself. Another lie, there's no hope for me. God has a plan for your life. Your best days are ahead. Our plans don't look the same, or God's plans don't look the same as what he has planned for somebody else, but that's okay. Your path is your path, and he does have a plan for you. So continue to seek him so that you know what his plan is. And again, the greatness is inside of you. Listen to your inner voice. Another lie, what if I fail? And the truth is, failure doesn't define you. It refines you. And so failure is not really, I know a lot of us are like, I don't want to fail, I don't want to fail. But failure is actually not as bad as we think that it is, because success is not a straight line. Success is like this. It's not like people who are successful, they don't just climb and climb and climb. I mean, you ask anyone that owns a business, or you ask anyone that is successful in your eyes, what does that look like to them? Or what did their journey look like? And I guarantee you, they'll say, oh man, I've had a lot more losses than I've had wins, but I'm here today. So those losses or those failures in someone's eyes, it honestly gets them to how they became successful. That's where we learn. That's where we grow. That's where we learn what not to do again, right? If I'm in a situation where I'm like, dang, I probably could have handled that a little bit better, in my eyes, I can consider that like as a failure, or I can consider it as an opportunity for growth. And so I like to look at it as an opportunity for growth. Speak truths to the lies that we tell ourselves. And then just a couple more, choose your relationships wisely. It's okay to outgrow relationships. Love evolves, people evolve, and so have you, so have I. This one kind of goes hand in hand with one of the topics I had last week called Who's in Your Circle. It's important that we choose our relationships wisely. Don't go back to someone who you know you don't belong with, or don't try to rekindle a friendship that maybe has been over with. I mean, it's okay to outgrow people. I mean, not in like a negative connotation or a negative way, but in a way where if you're trying to gain control of your life and you used to hang with a crowd, or you hang around people that may not be on the same path or journey as you, it's okay to hermit yourself. It's okay to hibernate yourself and stay focused. And so choosing your relationships wisely, I mean, be around the people that are doing the same things as you or want the same things as you in life. And again, don't allow loneliness to drive you back to someone that you know you don't belong to. Boundaries, it's huge when you are choosing your relationships, right? A lot of us, again, this is a book that I say everyone should get. So many people recommended it to me. It's called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. I think like 4 or 5 people, it was last year, recommended to me, and I love it. But if you're struggling with boundaries, I encourage you to, first read the book or listen to the audio and maybe start implementing some boundaries in your life so that you can be more aware and be more wise when it's time for you to choose your relationships. It could be friends, family, coworkers, the whole nine. And then last but not least, this one is really hard. And if it's not hard for you, I mean, you're a saint. It's hard for me. Forgive those who have hurt you. Hardest thing by far. But I will say the first person to forgive is usually the strongest person. The first move forward, like the first move you need to make in order to move forward is usually, you end up in a happy place. So the first person to move forward is usually the happiest too. So you think about yourself and there's a situation that hurt you or someone that hurt you. And usually if you are the first person to move forward, to forgive, to offer grace, then you usually end up being the happiest person. And so in the situation, you usually are the happy. And I think about how could I want like God to forgive. Again, I'm spiritual, and how could I want God to forgive me if I don't forgive other people? Doesn't mean you have to compromise your boundaries and go back to a relationship because that you shouldn't be in, or surround yourself around people you shouldn't be around. You can forgive. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you, really. So continue to be brave, be strong, be happy, and be free. And you can do those things by offering forgiveness. Again, I am not a therapist. I'm not a certified life coach. I'm just a friend that wants to help your Monday start you off on a good Monday, help your week go a little bit better, give you some tips and tools and a guide, and so just some things to remember in your day-to-day. So I want to leave you with this. Mondays are a great way to focus on what we get to do instead of what we have to do. Life is a gift, not an obligation. So peace, love, and until next time, have a good day. Mwah.